Film Showcase. I'm your host, Mike Messier. Welcome to our 10th big episode. I want to thank you, the audience, for joining us for the previous 9 episodes, and this 10th one is going to be great. We have 2 guest filmmakers on our show, Shawn W. Manchester and Bryan Bouyea. They'll be showing trailers for their upcoming films and also discussing their work as directors. But first, we have a movie called The Mortified, directed by Michael J. Zamito. And your buddy Mike Messier actually stars in this film. Let's check out The Mortified here on Short Film Showcase.
Friends and his teammates were all in attendance. Bulldogs head coach Chuck Malone was stoic, telling his disheartened team that star quarterback Scott Hutchinson was more than just our most valuable player. He was this team's heart and soul. Hutchinson was...
Hey Bobby, it's me. I'm okay. I've been working on them all morning. It's gonna be a real mess. Hey, listen, if I want to get through this thing today, I need something to eat. Yeah, can you just make me the usual? I'm starving. Make it 2. Okay, thanks.
Jimmy, shit, I need like 5 minutes, man. Like, your sandwiches will be right there on the counter.
You suck. Excuse me? I said you suck. Shoot the fat guys last. They're slow. So those fast little I watch out for. Man, you suck. You're live again. Keep shooting. Keep shooting. You should shut the grandma, man. You suck. Damn it. Don't worry, man. It's not like you're dead for real. But you would be. Kiss your saggy little pants if you ever saw a real dead body. Yeah, like you have? Yeah, I have. I'm a mortician. I gotta spend my whole day cleaning up a dead kid that should have been you.
Man, what up? I gotta talk to you for a second. You're talking about Scott, aren't you?
Go yourself.
No, man, it's like you don't understand. I hate that guy.
What's the matter with you?
That guy used to beat the crap out of me every day.
So you're like the only one who ever got beat up in high school?
No, man. It's more than that.
More than what?
I think it's cool. What you do? I'd like to come check it out.
Are you out of your mind?
Come on, man. I'll just sit there and I won't say a thing. It'll be all fine.
You're gonna puke.
No, I won't. I swear.
You won't even recognize him.
Yeah, I will. I'll never forget him.
So what's this gonna do for you?
What do you mean?
I mean, what's this gonna do for you? You get to see your classmate dead. Is that gonna make you feel better?
Better than what?
I don't know. Better than you did?
I don't know. I just want to see that he's dead.
No. You don't get it. He hit a tree at 80 miles an hour. His body is swollen so badly, you can't even see the shape of his head. It's just one big blue mess.
Blue?
Yeah. Like one gigantic bruise. His head and his torso are swollen with blood. Tell you the truth, you're gonna end up feeling sorry for him. Kids are the worst. The younger they are, the more it hurts to see. That's what I do. I'm a regular guy with an irregular job. So, coming in? So here we are, and there he is.
Why's that there?
Sometimes when county is overfilled, we do autopsies here.
Not really, Scott.
Yes, that's Scott's body. Respect for the deceased is of the utmost importance. I like to start every case with a toast to their lives. Care to join me?
Yeah, sure.
To the life of Scott Hutchinson. A life that ended far too early.
The life of Scott Hutchinson. A life that didn't end early enough.
What's the matter with you?
Nothing. I told you that kid was a...
Okay, so this boy picked on you. Well, respect for the dead comes first in this room. He can't hurt you now. Please remember that this boy has family that loved and respected him. They'll be coming to see him the way that they remember Scott. Now, where was I?
You're about to pour me another shot of whiskey.
I know I was not. Having a toast to the deceased is not the same as getting drunk while preparing.
Okay, okay. You can chill out, man. What the f is this?
I use it to break down a person's organs.
Nice.
You're not respecting this boy's life.
No, f that, man. This guy called me a fag. The whole town thinks I'm a fag because of him. You know what? I wish he was alive. So I could stab him through the heart.
Sister Mary Catherine. We expecting any visitors tonight?
Well, no. I'm not expecting anyone.
James?
Hello, Father.
This is quite a surprise. Is everything all right?
I need to talk to you.
Well, please, come on in. I'm in the middle of doing the dinner dishes. Please, have a seat. Can I get you anything?
No.
Why don't you tell me what is so bad that you had to drive all the way out here at this time of night? I'm surprised you didn't get lost.
I've been here a few times before. Something really bad has happened.
Well, James, you know that God will never give us more than we can handle.
I killed a young man tonight. I don't know if I can live with that sin.
Well, James, you know that the Bible teaches us that if we ask for forgiveness, God is faithful and just to forgive us of all of our sins.
Does he forgive you for your sins?
What?
You hurt me.
I did?
You did. You know you did.
Oh, James. We are all flesh.
I was only a little boy.
Years ago, I held you as a child the way I was held as a child. James, the way I hold you now.
You didn't stop! I don't understand. You took my childhood. You took my whole life. You took my life!
No! No!
Welcome back to Short Film Showcase. Right now we have a special guest in our studio. It's film director Bryan Bouyea. Bryan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me, Mike.
So, Root Beer Studios, that's the name of your studio company?
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, Root Beer Studios, we're based out of, we're an independent film production company led by me. We're based out of North Kingstown, Rhode Island, and we attempt to make modern movies classic. That's kind of part of why we use the name. Also is because since it's a little weird and strange, people either remember it because they hate it,
Right.
or they remember it because it's unique and funny. So just something we've been sticking with.
What's the current project for yourself and Root Beer Studios, Bryan?
The current project that we just wrapped up is Famous. It's a short film.
Okay, and we're going to be showing that trailer in just a few minutes.
Yep.
Okay, tell us what genre is Famous in?
I would like to say that the genre for Famous is kind of a mix of, I'm used to doing a lot of horror movies, but I like to describe this one as kind of suspense. A little suspense, not so much a thriller, because it has a slow build. It's kind of a slow burn with a big explosive ending.
Right.
That's kind of how I like to put it. A little bit of crime mixed involved as well.
When you were starting out as a filmmaker and just cutting your teeth, what are some of the influences when you were a kid? You were watching films and saying, wow, this movie is cool, and planted seeds for you to be a filmmaker yourself?
Well, what really started it for me way back in the beginning when I was probably like, I don't even know, 5 or younger than that, is I watched the movie The Mask with Jim Carrey. And for some reason, just the way that he acted, is just how funny he was, because I really like him. Really inspired me to want to act at first. It started off with acting. And so I did a lot of theater all throughout my even elementary school years to middle school and into high school. But halfway through middle school, I really wanted to start to create stuff and get behind the camera. And that's when I started to create films, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Nice.
So now I do a lot more behind the camera work than I actually do in front of it, and I really enjoy it.
So, director, and do you work as the DP, director of photography yourself, or do you work with someone else?
For myself and at Root Beer Studios, I end up doing a lot. I usually write, direct, edit, produce, and act sometimes.
Nice.
I have a lot of people. I mean, I can't do what I do without the help of others, but I happen to be very lucky to have a close circle of friends who happen to be extremely talented people, both acting and special effects, makeup, and all kinds of different trades. Well,
let's talk about some of your collaborators, actors, or some of your cohorts in your filmmaking. Let's talk about some of your relationships with your...
The relationships I have with everyone I work with, I would like to consider very strong. Like I said before, I was involved heavily in the theater department at my high school, which was a pretty hardcore theater department for being in a high school. And a lot of the actors that I get for my films, I either knew through high school or through acting festivals and stuff like that. So they're very talented people that I use. So most of them are just from high school or people that are interested in getting into film. I kind of consider myself a very good startup point for people that have never been involved in film, just kind of want to see what it's like, just to either be on set or just act. But
sounds
yeah.
good. Bryan, what are some of your aspirations, long-term aspirations for your filmmaking?
Long-term aspiration for my filmmaking is I want to do this for a living.
Yep.
This is what I absolutely want to do. I want to be able to, I mean, if it's just directing, and if it's just directing other people's work, writing, or if it's just directing my own work, I would really like to direct my own work. Mm-hmm. But this is what I want to do. In the long run, I would like to be able to have sustainable income from filmmaking.
Is there any film as a audience member that you aspire to match? Like, for instance, when I made my most recent movie, Blood Sugars Today, so I was looking at an old movie called Long Day's Journey into Night with Katharine Hepburn and saying, I'd really like to make a movie that's in the ballpark of that. When you look at films that you enjoy, going back to childhood, The Mask, and other films, is there any film that stands out as something you would like to get in the ballpark of?
Like, just not, I mean, like almost not replicate, but
not replicate.
This like the feel, the actual impact that a film has had. I mean, I can't really think of any specific films off the top of my head, but the one thing I would like to achieve with my films, I would like to make a film or a movie that changes the way that somebody thinks about something or impacts their life in some way, because that's what film did to me. I mean, that's what the movie The Mask did.
Right.
I think it was Joel Schumacher directed that.
I'm not sure, but Jim Carrey.
That might have been horribly embarrassing. But,
well, it introduced us to Cameron Diaz, right?
Yes, yes, he did. But I just want to make like one film that, just impacts somebody's life, and makes them think differently about something. So I can't really think of any specific films, but.
That's fine. Well, let's talk about a specific film here, Famous, which is your upcoming short. How long is the finished project going to be?
As of right now, it's up to a half hour, almost half hour. It's around 28 minutes. And I really got to do some cutting to it because I think I'm actually going to cut it down to be around 15 or 20.
And when you were starting this process of getting famous together, where did you start? Did you start with the writing, or did you have certain actors in mind that you're friends with? You say, hey, I'd like to write a piece for this guy, or did the writing come first? Or how did it
That's
happen?
actually a pretty interesting question because this film is something I've been wanting to do for a while. I originally wrote this. I really love the idea of what this film is, and it's something that I wrote when I was a junior in high school, maybe not even a junior, it might be the end of my sophomore year. I couldn't even drive yet. But I wrote this film, and I love the idea of it, but I wasn't ready to do it. This is actually the third attempt. It's the only successful attempt I've had in making this film, where I wasn't ready to do it. All the other times I just wasn't ready, so I would pick it up, I would try to get things together, and it just wasn't where it needed to be yet, so I put it down. And then the years went on, and I finally picked it up after I did my last film, The Network, and I was like, I think this is something that I really want to try again. And I took the script and I rewrote it, and added a couple more things, took some things out, and now I'm very happy where it is now.
That's
so
great.
The writing came first.
Writing came first.
Writing always comes first for me.
That's great.
I think, like, the basis of every good idea begins with a good writer, so I hope to be a good writer.
Well, Shawn, let's take a look at the trailer for Famous. Anything else you want to say before we take a look at the trailer for Famous?
Trailer for Famous? No, I mean, I'll let the trailer speak for itself, and hopefully it piques their interest.
Very good, Bryan. Thank you for coming on the Short Film Showcase.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's take a look at the trailer for Bryan Bouyea's short film, Famous, right here on the Short Film Showcase.
He asked me the same thing you did. Do you want to be famous? I said, yes. It was like a craving. I wanted it. I needed it. And I did every horrible thing possible to try and get it.
Up next on the Short Film Showcase is a music video called Precious Time by Nathan Sewer. Let's check it out.
In your mind, when the world is yours and time is there, it stands still. You're worried about getting up the hill you're climbing. You'll always be that baby in my mind. You were mine to borrow for a while. Don't fly too far from me. I heard my world was gonna change. Watched it grow, felt every pain. Now I'm holding on to precious time. Funny things I thought I knew, till I stood as tall as you. And I remember all those precious times.
When you were small, you used to think that mommy knew it all. We stayed strong while we taught each other right from wrong. And we've grown up. You'll always be that baby in my mind. You were mine to borrow for a while. I heard my world was gonna change. Watched you grow.
That was a great, heartwarming video, Precious Time, by Nathan Sewer, right here on the Short Film Showcase. Our next piece is coming to us all the way from Canada. It's Sabine Modestin's 13 Witches. It's a web series, and we're going to check out episode 1 and 2 right here on the Short Film Showcase.
A witch hunt is a search for witches or evidence of witchcraft, often involving moral panic, mass hysteria, and lynching, but in historical instances also involving official and unofficial witchcraft trials. The classical period of a witch hunt in Europe and North America falls in the early modern period, or between 1480 to 1700, resulting in an estimated 40,000 to 100,000 executions, mostly women. If someone had a vision of a woman being a witch, that was good enough for the judge. It was the result of 3 centuries of brutal torture, and public killing, mass hangings, and burning. Not surprisingly, the people who were mostly killed were the defiant, and the ones who wouldn't confess. If you admitted to being a witch and repented, you had a chance to live. But if you denied and insisted that you had rights, you were on a quick path to execution. Your chances were really bad if you were an older, independent, and loud woman, and even worse if you weren't married and had no intention of getting married. There was no chance for you if you were a pagan believer. Paganism is a major world religion with many branches. Some are witches, some are not. The practice of paganism is for good. It's not a black magic cult like people tend to think. A pagan ritual is anything that focuses your spiritual energy. The rituals are a way to connect with divinity and each other. They often include worshipping the goddess and the god. In this story, the witch hunters attacked the wrong women, because in every woman there is a goddess, and sometimes they can decide to take form and take their revenge against the stupidity of human nature. They will often use the bodies of the women who worship them, and some goddesses are worse than the folklore about them.
Okay, let me guess. You want my money too? I don't have time for this. Yes? I'm sorry I'm late for work. I can't help you. Are you happy with your life now? Look, I'm not into religion. I'm sorry, but I've got to go. I've got to be at work in like 5 minutes, okay? I'm Nemesis, I've met. But you can call me Nemesis if it's easier for you. These are my soldiers and sisters. Isis, Enyo, and Andromeda. You're probably wondering why you can control your body. You see, I have frozen you. I just want you to be able to use your brain and your lovely mouth to answer my question. Who are you? Who am I? I am... No, we are if you decide to join us. I can give you every power of the world, so you don't have to worry about another day.
You'll never be late for work again. Or fight with your boyfriend.
What do you mean? You're crazy. Do you want to know what's crazy? It's being a slave in life. Being a slave in society run by men where we as women have to work so hard to get what they get so easily. Nemesis can make you part of the most powerful legion in the world.
Where are you guys at? What do you want from me? Have you ever heard about witches?
Witches? You're witches? Are you kidding me?
Try to move if you don't believe me. I'm here to offer you the chance of a lifetime to take revenge on what they've done to us centuries ago.
In another life, we were sisters. You used to take care of me and protect me. You probably don't remember now.
Yes, Diana. You are the strong one.
You just saw our mother.
They burned her as well. With us and the rest of our sisters. Do you remember? The first man you saw was the one who started this all. Don't worry. Nemesis took very good care of him.
You're giving me the information in pieces, as if I'm supposed to figure out some goddamn puzzle. If you want to remember, I can make that happen for you. But are you ready for this? When you will decide to see and feel everything, there's no turning back, Diana. So if you're speaking the truth, then I want to remember. My eyes and your eyes are now one. Our spirit is one. May the past and the present life become one. May the present and the past become
one. Our mother, Aviona, was a wonderful woman who used to take care of everyone in the village. She was strong, and therefore no man could control her. So she was never married. She was happy that way.
She used to travel a lot. And with that, it led her good heart to adopt little girls.
See, back in those days, it wasn't a good thing to have girls. A lot of times the parents just left them. Our mother, she took us all in. There were 13 of us. Nobody ever knew how our mother had all the money to take care of all of us. But she did it, and we never missed anything. She was such a loving woman. She never asked for anything in return.
She taught us how to respect each other, even though we are from different cultures. She educated us so we could survive in the outside world.
She also introduced us to something much more important than ourselves.
Paganism. What is that?
It's a way of life.
No, it's like dark magic.
No! We were in love with everything life has to offer. The rivers, the rocks, the trees, the animals, and anything that had a soul. We saw a divine spirit in all life. All we wanted was to live in harmony with the earth and all creatures.
So this is like a cult, right?
No. There are hundreds of different pagan cultures. We're about love. We would never hurt anyone. Our mother, she could cure any sickness with just the right herbs.
You know what? Judging by the way you guys nice dressed. We're not Greenpeace activists. With what they did to us, we had to adapt. Even the way we're dressed.
What happened? And who is they you're speaking of?
Remember now.
I want to talk to Abiona.
Oh, why are you doing this?
I told you I was going to put an end to your witchcraft. You're not welcome here. Your witchcraft isn't welcome here. Lilith refused my son so she could put your witchcraft first. And Andromeda's pulling the exact same bull. Now Diana's trying to sink her claws into Stefan. Oh God, Christian, open my eyes. Judgment's mad.
Is that why you're doing this? Because I broke your heart and now my daughters have refused your sons? Because of this, you could consider doing something so cruel? Oh, you of all people know I do not practice the black arts.
By the Witchcraft Act of 1562, Abiona, you're sentenced to burn with your daughters. By the fire of God.
Paul, don't do this. You loved me once. Please remember that.
You cast your spells on me just like your daughters are casting their spells on my sons. I'm not gonna let that happen.
No!
I remember everything. But I didn't see you there.
Because I wasn't there. For every celebration, we had to bring some food to the goddess. So I went back home to get it. When I came back, I saw everything. I saw everything, but I was helpless. I watched my sisters and my mother die slowly in the flame. The last thing I saw was my mother who used to be so strong, consumed by the fire. I catch you. Kill you. No. Then how did you die? I never died. I never died. I gave my body and my soul to the devil to avenge my family. What do you mean? When I saw what they did to my sisters and my mother, I swore my life I'd be the one that got revenge. I wanted us to fight back, even if I had to wait centuries to do so. And now,
Welcome back to Short Film Showcase. I'm your host, Mike Messier, and right now in our studio we have a special guest filmmaker. His name is Shawn W. Manchester, and I'm very pleased to introduce him to the show. Welcome, Shawn.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Now, your project is called The Next Step.
Yep.
And we're going to see a trailer for that in just a minute, but tell us about The Next Step.
The Next Step is kind of a short film I wrote and directed that kind of came about by popular demand. I'm a photographer, so I did a photo series with the character Hank, which you will about to see. He was in various different photo shoots that I did with zombies and all kinds of monsters.
Yep.
So a lot of people kind of liked the way the character looked, like how he acted in the photos. So they said, "We need a movie. Put Hank in a movie." So I wrote this zombie film.
Nice. And you mentioned zombies. And zombies and horror, that's something that you've enjoyed throughout your life, is that right?
Oh, yeah. I've always loved horror movies. When I was a little kid, they scared the crap out of me. But
Sure.
As I grew, and especially when I started doing makeup, I kind of appreciated the film aspect more and how makeup artists did practical effects. I hate CGI. I'd rather go practical all the way.
Now, practical in the film industry means non-CGI, things that are really there.
They're actual there, made by hand, blood, actual blood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so you, as we've alluded to, you've kind of got your introduction to film through the makeup department, through the horror special effects department, is that right?
Yes. The only films I've done makeup on are Bryan's films. I'm trying to get my promote my work out there. And I've done my film, I do photo shoots and do it on my magazine to kind of promote my work, to grab other filmmakers, say, hey, I want to use this guy.
And we're talking about your magazine, it's SM Magazine, is that correct?
That's correct.
I know that because I've been in it. You've
Yes,
given me
you
a little
have.
exposure. It's
Yeah.
a good magazine.
Thank you.
Very thick stock paper, very nicely designed.
Yes.
Let's talk about the magazine for a minute. How did that come to be?
As an artist myself, I find it hard to get a lot of publicity, to get my work out there to the public. So I kind of came up with an idea of my own, is I want to help out other artists. I know what it's like. So I started this magazine where it features all types of art by independent artists. And so it kind of grew. It started in Rhode Island, then it grew to Mass and Connecticut, and then all the Northeast. And now artists from around the world are submitting their work. It's all types of art, from photography and drawings and paintings. Special effects artists put their stuff in there, filmmakers and musicians.
And people can find this through, I know your Facebook page,
Yes.
Shawn W. Manchester, you're on Facebook, easy enough to find.
Yes.
They can check out your magazine, it's great stuff.
Yes, and my website as well.
Okay, good. What's the website real quick?
ShawnManchesterPhotography.com.
Sounds good. Okay, so now I noticed your T-shirt. It's a pretty awesome T-shirt.
Isn't it awesome?
Yes, and you designed this shirt yourself. You say that?
I did.
Okay, and so this is the double feature. We met earlier, Bryan Bouyea, and you guys went to high school together. Is that right?
Yes, we did.
Okay,
That's how we met.
great. So this is a Bouyea and Manchester double feature, famous in the next step, and you guys are saying that it's kind of in the tradition of Tarantino Rodriguez.
Yeah.
You know, 5 or 10 years ago they did a double feature. So
Yeah.
are those two guys influences for you, Rodriguez and?
Absolutely. I loved Grindhouse, and it always influences me on, again, I always have to go back to my makeup because this is my first film I've actually directed, so
Right.
I don't have much background, but I have more background in makeup, and when I look at how they portray stuff in Planet Terror, the zombies, and like that really influenced me in my decisions and my zombies in my film.
Are you a fan or familiar with the Evil Dead series? Is that something that you like?
Yes, I like The Evil Dead.
Okay.
I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one, which
Right.
I need to go see.
Yeah, well, those are classics.
Yeah.
So. What about some of, because we're talking about horror films now, so I'm just curious, what do you make of some of the, say, 80s horrors, like the Halloweens, the Michael Myers, the Nightmare on Elm Streets, and some of these are being remade now, like Nightmare on Elm Street had a revise.
Yeah, and January, Texas Chainsaw is coming back in 3D.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with it because I want to go see it because I've seen the older films, but then again, they kind of don't do it right, and then they always, everything's like 3D now, and certain films, they just don't come out good in 3D, and I don't really enjoy it.
There's something missing there.
Yeah.
And
It's something different than what it used to be.
Do you think that the emphasis on remakes and sequels, for me, that's always an obstacle, seemingly, that it's hard for new voices, new scripts to break through. What do you think on that?
I agree with you. I mean, I work in a movie theater, so all I see that's coming out is either a sequel, a remake, or it's based off of a book or something. And as a filmmaker myself, I kind of look at it as in, well, it seems the only way I can get my name out there is if I had a movie about a book or if I made a remake, which I don't want to do. I want to make my own work so people can see this is what he did, this is his stuff. It's not somebody else's work.
Right, it's not a rehash or a reprise or
Yeah.
revisit or
Yeah.
reheated. There's something yeah. So, okay. As a filmmaker, what are your long-term plans? I know this is your first film, The Next Step, but what's next, or what's in the mind for the future? What do you think?
I have a few ideas for feature films I'd like to do, and I really want to focus on building a special effects company up. Getting my, I have a team on board that's willing to do it. I want to make prosthetic masks to sell, and further movies, get my name out there in special effects.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, Shawn.
It's been great being here. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Now let's check out the trailer to The Next Step by Shawn W. Manchester, right here on the Short Film Showcase.
Can you believe all this?
Not really. I just see it happening. This is what we wanted, right?
Now is his battle wages on. Sides are drawn, no turning back. Well, our division is evidence. It starts from within.
Our only concern is what to do when it's all said and done. The next step.
This is Mike Messier on the Short Film Showcase. We've had a spectacular 10th episode. I want to thank all the filmmakers that have contributed to the first 10 episodes of our program. You guys have made this happen. Also, I'd like to thank our producer, Bryan Casey, at bcfilms.net. If you're an aspiring filmmaker who'd like your short film on the Short Film Showcase, make sure and contact Bryan at bcfilms.net. On this episode, we had some great stuff. We had a web series from Canada. We had The Mortified by Michael J. Cimito. We had Nathan Sewer's music video. And we had two special guests, filmmakers Bryan and Shawn W. Manchester. It was a packed episode. I'm glad you're here for our very special 10th episode of the Short Film Showcase. And I'd like to remind all the aspiring filmmakers out there, if you can dream it, shoot it. Thank you. I'm Mike Messier for the Short Film Showcase.